So quite a common thing here is that the bat tends to lead first, and then the bat drops, and we're kind of limited on that backswing. Okay, today we are looking at return of service. It's been requested a number of times, so we're going to look at the 3 returns of serve that have been requested the most. We're going to be looking at the backhand flick. We're going to be looking at how to deal with these long fast balls into middle and backhand, and also the forehand touch from that short forehand position. So stick around to see the detail you need to know to be able to execute these different returns. Okay, today I'm joined by Lauren, who's going to be helping me out. Lauren is a former international player for England at junior level, and she's also a soon-to-be level 2 qualified coach. So you're going to be seeing me in action a little bit, and you're also going to be seeing Lauren in action too. So first of all, we're going to look at the backhand flick, specifically how to deal with different variations of serve. So first of all, just the basic technique. So from this position here, I'm looking to get into that short backhand position. For me, as a right-hander, I'm going to be stepping in with my right leg, bring my body and my arm and my head much closer to the ball. I'm trying to get this elbow forward. That creates a bit of a backswing for me. That allows me to create some momentum in the shot. And the first variation we're going to look at is dealing with a no-spin serve. Okay, so let's take a look. So quite a common thing here is that the bat tends to lead first, and then the bat drops, and we're kind of limited on that backswing. So it's possible to flick like that, but it can limit the amount of topspin that we can create and the amount of danger that we create. So really trying to step in and get that elbow forwards. You can see it's not just the elbow, a slightly looser grip means that that wrist can really flick through, and that's going to add to the amount of topspin that I can get on the flick. When dealing with a topspin serve, the only difference really is going to be the angle on which I play. If I keep the same angle, the topspin is going to take hold, and that's going to want to lift off of the rubber. So rather than lifting up the back of the ball slightly, I'm going to be closing this angle down, and that's going to help me keep that ball lower over the net. Trying to keep my head nice and close to the ball. Don't want to be stood up reaching into the flick. Yeah, I want to keep my head close, and that step inwards is allowing me to do that. Okay, so just a very slight change with the dealing with the topspin serve, just closing that angle down slightly. Okay, and the final one is dealing with this against backspin. Again, really common that we want to try and get the bat down to try and lift up. With this, the table's going to be in the way, so we want to try and get that elbow forward, utilize this space backwards. That allows us to build up speed, and that's going to be the thing that allows us to create that lift. And you might find if you're struggling to lift this from directly behind the ball, you might find by lifting the elbow and coming around it a little bit more, you might find it easier to create that lift. Just focusing a little bit more on having a bit extra acceleration, that's needed just to help create that little bit more of a lift on it. If we go too slowly, we're not going to get that dip on the ball. So just making sure that wrist is accelerating through the ball. And trying to contact somewhere towards this leading edge when we're going for this one. Yeah, somewhere around us. It needs to be in that sort of sweet spot area, but somewhere towards that edge that's moving first. It's going to meet the ball first. Okay, so it's possible to flick the ball against different serves that you're facing. There's just some minor little tweaks that you might need to make from time to time.
Now the second return we're going to look at is the forehand touch. We're going to look at the technical points needed to execute the touch. Now we're going to have a look at the forehand touch against backspin.
So what are you focusing on there, Lauren? How are you executing that?
So I'm focusing on contacting the ball right as it bounces, just as it rises. Staying low with my body, making sure my head's close to my arm, nice bend in my elbow. So I'm making sure I keep my right leg in to allow my bend in my elbow and keeping my head close to help control the ball. You want to make sure you really take this ball nice and early. You don't want to be taking it as the ball's rising and cutting down on it. You want to meet the ball just as it's bouncing. So we don't want this. If you take it at the top of the bounce, it's hard to create spin like this. Compared to taking it right as it bounces. The forehand touch is a really good serve return. If you're the type of player that likes attacking first, this is a great return of serve to stop people attacking.
And finally, from my long fast serve video, there were lots of requests to understand how you deal with the variations of long serve. So we're going to be looking at how to deal with these long fast serves into different positions against different spins too. So first of all, Lauren is going to serve just long and fast, no particular spin, and it's going to be into this backhand half. And my job is to just try and attack that as best as I can. Before we have a little look at that, my main objective first is to take the ball quite early. I don't want to allow the ball to be jumping up at me, so wherever it lands, I want to be trying to meet it as early as I can and focus on producing spin. There'll be a lot of pace on it, so I don't need to play with a lot of pace. I just need to focus on a good quality contact. So all my focus is on Lauren and where she's serving. I'm looking at the angle of her bat. That's allowing me to make a decision whether I take it with the backhand or the forehand. It's fine sometimes if we get this wrong, if we think backhand and it ends up creeping here. So long as we commit to that, the shot's okay. It's when we don't commit that there becomes an issue with it. So fine in this middle to make some different decisions, but commit to your decisions. So I can focus here just on quick wrist action and focus a little bit more on going forwards into the return. Okay, slight change if you're facing a long topspin serve, whether that is a kicker or just kind of a straight topspin or someone's using pendulum topspin. I'm going to be trying to close over the top of the ball a little bit more. So very similar to what I've done before, but the angle of attack is going to change slightly. Posture, incredibly important in this one. If I'm too upright here and the ball's coming in, it's hard then to get over the top of the ball. We end up lifting. So one, that's not an effective shot. Two, that means you're going to be quite slow moving afterwards or for the shot itself. So making sure that we've got enough room back our weight is forward and I'm much lower. And it's that position here that allows me to make these quicker movements, those micro adjustments. And the final variation is going to be against a backspin serve. That could be the skidding backspin serve that we saw in the video previously, or it might just be a straight backspin ball. So the difference here is that a lot of my effort now is going to be up the back of the ball. The backspin is going to want to take the ball into the net, so my effort's got to be up to counteract the spin that I'm receiving. So I'm still taking this one quite early. It's still a quick serve, but it might not be quite as quick as some of the others. So if you're seeing it coming, you might be afforded the opportunity to let it bounce a little bit more and take the ball. In that case, you might be able to go forwards a little bit more because there'll be a little bit of height on the ball. If we're taking it off the bounce, we're still going to have to be lifting that ball a little bit more. So a tough one to deal with, but there are solutions to attacking these long, fast backspin serves too.
You don't have to be dictated to by the server. Just because someone's given you different spins doesn't mean you have to choose a different return.
So I think we've shown in these 3 different service variations that you can make some small technical tweaks to deal with those different variations of serve. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Thanks to Lauren for joining me. Let me know how she got on. Do you want to see Lauren in more videos? If there's different returns that you'd like to see, let me know in the comments. Make sure that you like the video and that you're subscribed to the channel too, and I'll see you at the next one. So we're going to look at the 3...
We're going to focus on the technical points you need to...
Yeah. Huh? Don't go taller than me. And we're going to look, I always say look, backhand flick, as well as looking at, I said it again. Oh, wet.
It's actually quite hard to think of what to say.
Can we redo that one?
I've got a twitch. Can we redo that bit? Redo what you said. I'm like this.
Ooh, some good ones in there.
Now what? Throw me in the deep end.